Hello, dear viewers. Thank you so much for joining me for your daily tarot reading. I always ask you to choose the stone that calls to you today, the one that resonates with your intuition, and we begin. It's important to trust our intuition. If we ever wonder about it, or did we hear right, or are we reading it correctly, we can always ask for more clarification. For those of you who chose the green spotted stone, we have the Knight of Swords, we have the Page of Cups, we have the Ten of Cups. So probably not any kind of earth-shattering day or decision, but we have this reassurance that underneath, people are fine, your family, friends, your household is fine. It may not be perfect because we have the Knight of Swords here. There may be somebody who is like charging forward with their thoughts or their belief or their speech or what have you, and a little bit, not having a full picture of the situation. Saying what they think is making absolute sense, but there may be not completely mature, so they're not seeing the whole thing. Or their ideas about it are just half-baked. They're not entirely informed, one or the other. So it can be that these can be people in your life. The Page of Cups could be somebody that you're, who's a younger person who is a little bit led by emotions, can be delightful, but could be a little emotionally impulsive as well. So if these are people in your life, people in your day, be reassured that you certainly do your part in creating an emotionally secure environment where people can grow, okay? Sometimes this isn't about other people, it's about, you may have a plan. This can be about a plan too, that's sort of halfway to maturity. And it's a charge ahead kind of day with the plan. It can be that kind of thing. Or the Page of Cups can also be a moment where you're feeling the temptation to be a little childlike, have a little fun, just roll with it, go with what seems like it would be a good thing to do in the moment. So this can be moments in your day. It can have to do with things that you have in the works. But I like the Ten of Cups here because it's basically saying, all right, no matter what's going on today, everything really is good underneath. It really is good underneath, and you're part of that. All right. For those of you who chose the orange stone, we have the Tower, we have the Six of Swords, we have the Ace of Wands. All right, so the Tower, I get the feeling right away this is about a time in your life. Maybe because of this card, it's maybe not so much something that happens today, but it's a time in your life when there is something that's shaking things up in some area of your life. It could have come in. It could be something you precipitated, you decided on, but this may be a time when there's a new thing. There's a new way of doing things, a new way of looking things that's coming in. And there is an opportunity. Spirit is saying, don't worry about the Tower. I'm bringing an opportunity around. That's the thing about the Tower moments. We don't always like them, but a lot of times that's what it takes to allow for something new to come in that maybe we couldn't even see was a possibility. Because see, the Six of Swords there's sort of a gradual nature to this. You don't have all the answers. You've been learning more. So I can see that this could be a time that's been difficult or frustrating. Whether that's in a small way or a large way. It's regarding some area of your life. But you have been learning, and everything you've learned is valuable. And maybe it's been a time when you've had all kinds of different plans and you've just not had enough information about how things are going to shake out in the end to be able to take just one plan and go with it. But the thing is, when we have all kinds of different things we try or learn, that benefits us in the future. That's a time of growth that changes things for us. And when we're off on the more hospitable shores and we're into the calmer waters where we're going, all of those lessons, all those things we learned sure do make for a better future. So I think there's encouragement in this spread that if there's a Tower happening, And even if it feels like it's not been something easy to get out of, this hasn't worked, or that you've had to modify, or what have you, that's okay, because actually an opportunity is coming in if you go with what enthuses you right now. If you go with something that interests you, if you go with what's life-giving and maybe gives you some fire, that's what you go with. Sometimes that's all we need to know. We're trying our best to plan for everything, but sometimes when things are changing in our life, you just don't have all the answers. So it's learning. But please know that Spirit is bringing an opportunity in. And yes, if you focus on what seems to give you sense of purpose, fire you up, is interesting or you're enthused about, that's a good way to go. We don't have to always have all the answers. Like this person has learned quite a few things along the way. Sometimes the learning is what sets the stage for the next good era. For those of you who chose the gray stone, we have the Death card, we have the Justice card, we have the Seven of Swords. So the Death card is, a lot of times it's an end to something. It's about acceptance to me a lot of times. It's sort of like, okay, I know something's done. And there can even be some relief in that. Now, if this is about what's going on internally, I would think you may be done with something that was unfair to you, perhaps, because we have the Justice card here. Maybe somebody's hidden motive, hidden agenda, or taking more than their fair share. Sometimes this is taking more than their fair share, trying to get away with something. Maybe there's somebody in your life who, it just hasn't been being fair to you. And in that case, I think there's an end to that coming and justice being restored. So that is good. For some of you, this is a deeply personal internal process. And the Seven of Swords is simply, you're not going to share it with everybody. You're keeping this a hidden agenda. You may have plans. You might even be making plans, but keeping that to yourself, because sometimes these are just deeply personal, private matters. And it's about restoring justice and balance in your life. So it can be about that too. For some of you, these cards are coming up because you have social justice issues on your mind, and they're figuring large in your thinking today, and sort of wanting to see an end to injustice and scheming, sort of that kind of thing. In which case, these cards would be good, because they would suggest that something is winding down, something that has been a hidden agenda justice is coming. So whatever these mean to you, powerful major arcana a lot of times are indicating to us that Spirit is alive and working in what is going on in our lives. For those of you who chose this brown and white striped stone, this Picasso stone, we have the Empress, we have the Eight of Coins, we have the Queen of Wands. So the Empress is pregnant with a new possibility. It is time, maybe feels like beyond time even, for something new and life-giving to come in, and you feel it. And Spirit is saying, yes, it is coming in. However, usually there's something we have to do to bring that in as well. We have to participate in it. We don't have to know all the answers, but we have to participate in its birth. Now, the cards on either side to me suggest that you certainly are actively participating, because we have the Queen of Wands who stays true to her purpose and gets things done, and she's purposeful and she's mature, and even on the days she doesn't feel full of energy, she's still moving forward with her purpose. She still is purposeful. And a lot of days, though, she does have energy with this purpose, being this fiery queen. The Eight of Coins means that you may be learning something new, or you may be trying to be very productive regarding wealth or health or any other sources of security. You might be trying to be very productive. And I'm thinking with this Empress, yes, it will definitely pay off. And with this reassurance from the Queen of Wands that you have the maturity to do it, you can do it, definitely going to pay off. So these are just lovely cards. I like it when the Empress comes up. You sort of feel it, that there's something new coming in. And yes, your efforts are not wasted. They are heading in the right direction, and you're learning and you're growing in your ability as well at the same time. So these are terrific cards. Well, I hope that you all have a marvelous day and hope to see you soon. Thank you so much for watching. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.